This channel got monetized. I still can't believe it. I can't believe that it happened the way that it did. And because the algorithm seems to have noticed me only 2 or 3 weeks ago, I still vividly remember what it was like to be a teeny tiny channel that nobody ever noticed. So I wanted to make this video for other small creators and provide a little bit of advice and maybe encouragement for those people who are still stuck where I was just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then at the end of this video, I want to say a big thank you for the people who have subscribed, and I have a question for you as well. So stay tuned. I really only have two main pieces of advice for small creators who feel stuck. The first is make the kinds of videos that you want to see and enjoy the small views for what they are. So let me explain. I think that some people, because they're desperate to break out of that little corner of YouTube and start to get noticed, they tend to try to chase trends and try to create the types of videos that they think are popular in that point in time. And I think that for the most part, that sort of stuff doesn't really work. Occasionally it can for some people, but for most people it doesn't. If you are only trying to chase trends, then you might not be creating content that you personally believe in and that you personally enjoy. And when you're not getting views and subscribers, you have to be enjoying what you're doing. You have to genuinely believe in your content, because otherwise there's not much point, right? So the other part of that is enjoy the low views for what they are. What I mean by that is when you don't have anybody viewing your videos is the prime time for you to experiment with your content. It's the prime time for you to figure out what kind of stuff you're good at, what kind of stuff maybe you need to work on. It's the time for you to figure out whether you want to be doing YouTube at all. And let me tell you, when you start to get noticed by the algorithm and when you start growing your audience, while most people are still really nice and polite, you will start to get some people who, how do I put this politely? People who leave their manners at the door before coming into your space. And if you are someone who is maybe a little bit more openly vulnerable, a little bit more of a gentle person, then those kinds of comments can easily start to derail you if you don't believe in your content in the first place, if you don't enjoy creating content in the first place. So you need to have some of those foundations set up before you get too noticed. And when your channel is teeny tiny and you have no views, no subscribers, that is the time to do it. The second piece of advice is also sort of a two-parter. It's ignore the noise and don't buy stuff. There is a lot of advice out there on how to grow your YouTube channel. There's so much advice that it can be really overwhelming. And it can be really frustrating when, in your specific case, maybe you followed some advice to a T and it's still not working, right? So I would say just ignore the noise. You keep doing you. Keep focusing on whether your next video is maybe a little bit more interesting, a little bit better than your previous video. That's basically all you need to do. Now, on this topic specifically, I want to say, even when I had like 10 subscribers or less, I started to get emails from people trying to sell me their services. And the most common one that I got was people trying to get me to pay them to create my thumbnails. Okay, PSA to the average content creator. Unless you are already super successful and you are YouTube famous or something, and you're, just by nature of how busy you've become with your content creation, you've started to outsource a whole bunch of stuff. Unless you are one of those people, you do not need to pay anybody to create your thumbnails. Thumbnail creation is one of the easiest things to do once you get a little bit of practice. And also, I've at least found that the simpler your thumbnail is, the better. So you don't need to pay someone to create these extravagant, beautiful thumbnails for you when the thumbnail itself doesn't really matter that much. That flows on to the second part of this piece of advice, which is don't buy stuff. Most of us have a smartphone, right? I mean, my smartphone is from 2019, and most of my earlier videos were just filmed with my smartphone, and it was fine. Like, it was good enough. I think that there is a growing space for people who are less polished, for people who don't have the big production values and the fancy setups and all that stuff. There is a growing space for people who are just a little bit more real life, a little bit more down to earth. You don't need to have the like the big microphone in front of you and the lights kind of coming at you, just sit in front of a window like I'm doing right now. That's enough most of the time. Of course, once you become YouTube famous, then you can buy whatever you want. And before I move on to my thank you, I have one more little thing to say. I think that sometimes when we really feel stuck and we kind of can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're wondering, what am I doing all this for? Is it even worth it? Sometimes we just need to hear someone tell us that it's going to be okay. So if you're at all feeling that way, I'm here to tell you that it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Now, finally, I would like to say thank you to you if you have subscribed to this tiny channel in this corner of YouTube. I am so honored that you are here. We have people from all over the world here with us in this little tiny community that we've created. And we have people of all sorts of ages. We have people coming into the comment section and sharing a snippet of their personal story. We have people coming in and offering advice to other people in the comment section, having actual conversations with each other, helping each other. And that's exactly what I want. And I'm so honored that enough people have felt comfortable enough to share a little bit of themselves in the comment section. I'm so honored. Thank you. I hope that we can keep this as a safe space for anybody to come in and just feel like a part of a little community, feel heard, feel seen. Now, if you have subscribed, I want to know from you what kind of video you would like to see next. I've got a little poll that you can access through the description or the pinned comment. So please vote if you want. And then maybe within the next couple of videos, we can do one that is just for you. Thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you next time.